making the crowd a family and friends. Are we ready?
I think we are.
Oh, yeah. The modern laws today, we record, we broadcast at the same time. So right now we're recording. As soon as we are told that we're broadcasting live on YouTube, then we can start. Ready? Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call to order our regular city council meeting for Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. Would everyone please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sylvia, roll call.
Mays.
Here.
Council President Rosner.
Here?
Councilor Browse.
Here.
Councilor Young.
Here.
Councilor Giles.
Here.
And Councilor Scott is absent.
Awesome. Thank you, Sylvia. We have approval of the agenda.
I would like to make an amendment to the agenda. I would like to add a letter B under presentations, special presentations.
Second.
Aye.
Okay. I think
It's all you need to know.
I'm being ambushed. All right. So we have an amended resolution. Do we approve the amended resolution?
Agenda.
Agenda? You're flustering me, people.
Sorry.
We're deviating from the plan.
Mission accomplished.
All in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? People. We have 2 items on our consent agenda, only 2. We have had like 20 this last year.
It's a short one.
As you'll see, that one of the pleasures of being mayor is you get to read the titles of every item. So we have 2 items. Item A is approval of the August 16th, 2022 City Council meeting minutes, and item B is Resolution 2022-071, authorizing the city manager to execute a construction contract for the Southwest Lee Drive and Southwest 3rd Street pavement rehab project.
I move consent.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is citizen comments. Anyone in the community like to address council on an item not on the agenda? But we have a citizen comment or public comment on, and the answer is maybe. Lana's eyeballing me in the back, but seeing nothing. All right, we will move on from. Oh, wait a minute. Remotely, anyone? So we pass that down. Anyone remotely from out in the community want to give testimony? Another step we have to take nowadays. Nope. All right. Moving on to presentations. Always exciting to recognize outstanding youth in our community. And is Kaylin here? So one of the things we have to do is when youth in our community do great things, we like to call them out. And in this case, Kaylin Keziah, thank you, received the rank of Eagle Scout recently. So normally we like to have them here and like to. It is a big deal to become an Eagle Scout or any high achievement in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts. And part of that, we like to congratulate them for doing that. So we congratulate Kaylin and hope at a future day maybe hear about his project. Scouts are always welcome to come in and talk about the big Eagle Scout project they do, which takes a lot of time and effort and usually lots of help from family and friends and fellow Scouts. So we have a certificate of achievement for Kaylin, and I'll just read it. We're going to give a certificate of achievement to Kaylin on behalf of the City of Sherwood and the Sherwood City Council. We congratulate you on your outstanding achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout.
Mayor,
Yeah.
if I could, he has already started his freshman year at BYU. So it will be a little while before he gets back to Sherwood.
Well, we'll send it to his parents. Now, I have no idea what the second item is on the presentation. Is it presentations?
Item B.
Item B. What's
Item
item B of presentations?
I guess I can handle that if you don't mind.
Since I don't know what it is.
Recently, I think back in August, our mayor, Keith Mays, won an award from the OMA, which is the Oregon Mayors Association. And we thought it would be nice to have that award presented here tonight. Patty Mulville from the League of Oregon Cities is here to present that to you again.
Did you see her?
I didn't. No, I was distracted by my family in the first few rows.
So you need to stand up and walk out in front. And are you okay? Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you little stinker.
Turn that on until it turns green. There you go.
Welcome, Patty.
Thank you. So I'm gonna, before I introduce myself, Mayor Mays and I have worked for several years together, and he's always encouraging me to be brief. And fair warning, I won't be tonight. But my name's Patty Mulvihill. I'm presently the interim executive director. I feel really bad because y'all are the ones who want to hear this, and I can't see you. But I'm the interim executive director for the League of Oregon Cities. I'm not here tonight in my capacity with the League. I'm actually here because I serve as the secretary for the Oregon Mayors Association. And the board of directors of that association asked if I could please stand in their stead because, ironically, almost every city in Oregon has council meetings on the same nights or planning commission meetings. And so I'm it. But they asked me to speak on their behalf tonight. So for those of you who don't know, Councilor Rosner kind of mentioned this, the Oregon Mayors Association was created in 1972 as a voluntary association for persons specifically who hold the office of mayor in Oregon. And its mission is to convene, network, train, and empower Oregon's mayors. Mayor Mays has been a longstanding member of that association and has been very involved in its success. In 1993, the Oregon Mayors Association created what's called our Mayor's Leadership Award, and it is a very prestigious award. It is not given out often, and it is only given to a select few. It is given to those individuals, mayors specifically, in recognition of the valuable contributions that mayors throughout Oregon make to their community. It is intended to acknowledge the mayors in Oregon who have provided consistent and continuing leadership, which facilitated dynamic change in their cities. It's given to mayors who have dedicated their time and energy in the pursuit of helping their communities reach their full potential. Recipients are limited to persons who have distinguished themselves from other Oregon mayors over the duration of the tenure in their office. So this is meant to be an award to recognize those mayors who are truly exceptional in this state. And as Councilor President Rosner mentioned, during this year's Oregon Mayors Association annual conference, the association was pleased to announce that Mayor Mays was the recipient of the award in the large city category. Now, I was not there. I managed to go 2.5 years without getting COVID, and then I got it before my favorite event of the year. So I wasn't there. But what the OMA board really wanted to do, and I'm going to call it OMA, that's how we shorten it for those of you, the OMA was really committed to making sure that Mayor Mays was specifically recognized here in Sherwood for his contributions. This is where he's done the bulk of his work. This is where he resides. This is the community he loves, and it was really important to the association that someone come here today and make sure you got recognition, not just in front of your peers at the conference, but that you were recognized here. I'm going to take a few minutes to highlight what you've done for your community, since it's your community who helped nominate you for the award.
I still haven't fully read that thing, so I don't know if he put any lies or.
Too late.
I mean, there's a few, but don't tell everybody. They're right back there. So first of all, you're all here in the community, so you probably know Mayor Mays has dedicated 24 years of his life to serving Sherwood. And not just Sherwood, he's also served this region, the metro region, and he served the state, both as a member of the Oregon Mayors Association and as a member of the League of Oregon Cities. He's been a planning commissioner, a council president, a mayor, and he's also been, from my perspective on the league, he served as our treasurer, our vice president, and our president. He's currently our immediate past president and probably super excited to be done with us here shortly. Our meetings go too long. Mayor Mays' focus on making Sherwood a great place to live has never been in doubt. During his term in office, this city has grown from 10,000 people to 20,000. And as the city has grown, Mayor Mays has focused on positive change that has enhanced the quality of life for every resident here. Specific examples of his dedication and focus on leading Sherwood is the construction of a new city hall and library, construction of the Cannery Plaza and splash pad in Old Town, construction of the city's first skate park, rebuilding the Veterans Memorial, starting and managing 2 urban renewal districts, and establishing one of the first COVID relief grant programs for businesses in April of 2020. And what I think is more is when that grant program opened and there wasn't enough funds for all the applicants, Mayor Mays challenged this council to provide more funding so that nobody would be left behind. And this council, led by Mayor Mays, took that action well before we had ARPA funding or CARES Act. It was just something that he did to recognize his community. Now, I said at the beginning that I was here in representation of the Oregon Mayors Association, but I'm going to take a minute to speak on behalf of the League of Oregon Cities. Because for me, what I find most meaningful about this award is that one of the specific requirements is that a mayor can only get this award if he has shown or she has shown exceptional leadership qualities. And Mayor Mays, I've personally watched you use exceptional leadership qualities. You know, if you're on Twitter or you follow Oregon Press, in December of last year, the League of Oregon Cities had a pretty big problem. Our former executive director behaved inappropriately with one of our mayors. And it was embarrassing, it was humbling, and it was problematic. But what most people forget about that incident is it happened about 5 days before Christmas. And what most people don't realize is that the way the League's board of directors work is presidents think they're done the first week of December when they handle the December meeting, and then there's nothing else to do until the next meeting and the next president takes office in January. So when this whole incident happened, Mayor Mays, quite legitimately, you had an option to say, this isn't my problem. I'm not going to handle this issue. It's 5 days before Christmas, and I'm going to pass this off to the next president. And you didn't do that. And I'm going to talk right to you. I know I've said this to you privately, but I think it's important to say it publicly. Exceptional leadership to me as a long-term staff person is about not passing the buck. You were elected to make really hard decisions. And what happened in December was really hard, and it was really public. And I've spent 20 plus years in local government, and I've worked with a lot of local government officials, and a lot of them would have made that President Browning's problem. And you didn't. In fact, we talked so much on the phone in December that I think at one point I joked that if we never spoke again and you called me out of the blue in 20 years, I'd still know who you are without identifying yourself.
It was a long few days.
It was a long few days. But what stood out to me over and over again, Mayor Mays, in those conversations was you were committed to solving the problem then. You were committed to solving the problem professionally, to solving it expeditiously, and in my opinion, compassionately. You had compassion for your fellow board members, compassion for LOC staff, and compassion for the membership. And that's what exceptional leadership is to me. So I recognize and appreciate all of the reasons the Oregon Mayors Association gave you that board, but speaking on behalf of every single employee of the League of Oregon Cities, your leadership last December was exceptional, and that action alone warranted the award you've been given by the Oregon Mayors Association. And I am incredibly pleased and humbled to be able to come here today and say to your face in front of your family and your friends, I won't forgive them like you did, your family and your friends and all of your colleagues, not just congratulations, sir, but thank you. Thank you for what you've done for Sherwood. Thank you what you've done for the Metro Region, for the Oregon Mayors Association, and the League of Oregon Cities. So if I can please ask everybody in the room to please stand up and congratulate and thank this man, I'd appreciate it.
Wow.
Oh, that stinks.
Thank you, Patty, for what? Are you not done?
Just one quick announcement. And then you can thank everyone. Actually, go first, and then I'll make this announcement. Just go.
He's got something up his sleeve. Thank you, Patty, for making the trek. I'm sorry that you had COVID for that weekend. I'm glad you're better. Thanks to Tim and folks for making the original letter and nominating me and suggesting that I be considered. Yeah, we all try to do what we can. It's a team effort. I mean, you highlighted that I did this and did that. One person doesn't do anything. It's a team effort. The success that we have in our communities is a reflection of the entire city council and city staff, and the volunteers that do so much hard work serving on our boards and commissions. Yeah, it's a team. If we can all just keep pointed in a general good direction and listen to each other and elevate good ideas and show compassion for each other and be creative and be a little stubborn, and advocate for our town. So, yeah, it's fun. It's going to continue to be fun. You know, by the whatever the as I will have my last few months as being mayor, I'll become a city councilor next year to cut back on my hours and let this guy, since no one wanted to run against you, Tim Rosner will be mayor starting next year, but I might not make it to the exec session after this because I got some family and friends here, just so you know. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Patty.
Would anyone else on council like to say anything?
I'd like to say something if I could. So I'm the new guy on council, and I've got to say, even in my, I first met Mayor Mays, I guess, watching him in the few city council meetings that I attended before I was on the planning commission. But really what stood out to me was when I was turning in my paperwork for running as a city councilor, and I was sitting in the office trying to fill out some stuff. And if any of you have ever tried this before, there's a lot of things that you don't know how to do. And it just so happened that Mayor Mays was dropping off his information at the same time. He answered several questions for me, talked to me. You know, we talked, we'd known each other and kind of gone in similar circles, but he said that he would support me in my candidacy. And even though that initial was not successful, that initial run, since I've been appointed in the last few months, every single time I have reached out for help, my experience has been exactly what it seems like many of your experiences, where he was more than generous with his time and his knowledge. And in fact, it was, I would say, mind-blowing to me how much he knows about local politics and where everything is and how to get things done. And so while I understand his need to reduce his time, I am grateful both as a new city councilor and as a citizen of Sherwood for almost 20 years that for the service that you've given and for the help that you've given me personally as a councilor. So thank you, and a well-deserved award.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah, I will just echo Taylor. I mean, I've been on council now with Mayor Mays for 5 years.
We're somewhere in the fifth year.
Somewhere like that. So this is going on my 6th year on council. And just since he joined back and became mayor, just the trajectory of council and the visions of the city and under his guidance, I mean, quite honestly, and his history from being on council before and being mayor before, he, like Taylor said, the knowledge that Keith has and that we all get to tap into, because he's right. He'll answer all my calls and answer all my questions, and it's just been a joy. It's a joy to serve with you.
Thanks.
So I'll ditto. But it's been interesting. You were one of the first people that I met when I moved to Sherwood back in 2006.
Yep.
We traveled to Columbia together. We went to Nashville together. You're a great leader, and I appreciate all that you've done for the community.
Thanks, Renee.
Yeah, and I'll just wrap this part of it up. I was hoping we could get a tear. We get a little crying going on here. But I ditto to everything that was said. I can't add any more to that other than I wish every city councilor in the state of Oregon had the opportunity to be mentored and helped out by Keith as a mayor. So thank you. I know I appreciated it, so thank you very much.
You're welcome, Tim.
And then one quick announcement. Right after this meeting, there'll be a short reception. We have cupcakes and anything else besides cake and lemonade. So feel free to stick around. This should be a fairly short meeting tonight, so we'll try to get the rest of the meeting out of the way so we can all celebrate a little bit, and then we'll take some time to do that. Then we'll go into executive session.
Cool. Awesome. As I've told the story before, but I'm the crazy one in the family that actually at some point decided, got urged and ended up running for an elected position at the local level, and have enjoyed it, and other ways of serving in the community over the years. But it came from the inspiration to serve, comes from family. My folks and grandparents, they instilled that, and so this is just my way of doing it. They volunteered in the church, in the university, in the community college, and school boards, and 4-H, and scouts, and sports, and I didn't do any of that. So I'm doing. I attended one too many city planning commission meetings, and have been involved ever since. So, my family and friends, my Aunt Zetta, who's my mom's twin, is in the front. Jared and Braden, my nephews, they're the boys of my cousin Andrew and Tamara. My cousin Barry, his wife Stephanie. Yep. I'll get there. Hang on. Tamara and Barry are
Brothers and sisters.
right.
Grew up together.
So, then, some of my best friends, John and Michelle. So, thanks for being here. And, good God, then the Berkwams, Eric and Nina Berkwam. Thanks. And Matt and Lana and Rebecca, thanks for being here. So, next, you guys suck.
Public hearing.
Would you like council president to take over?
Anyways, so, Sylvia, we have a public hearing. Do you want to read something? Bail me out. Yeah, and I'm sure before the end of the year I'll say stuff too, but in this journey of volunteering in the community, Sylvia and Kristen and Craig have played a huge part in that, and been there the whole time. So, all right, go ahead.
So the Sherwood City Council will hold a public hearing this evening to receive testimony regarding Resolution 2022-072, updating the City of Sherwood's stormwater system development charges methodology and amending the fee schedule. The public hearing this evening will be conducted as follows. Staff will present a staff report. Questions, if any, by the City Council for staff. We will receive written testimony. We will then open the public hearing for testimony. The time will be limited to 4 minutes per person. Any interested person may present testimony. We will then close the public hearing. No other comments will be heard from the public. Final comments by staff, questions of staff, if any, by the council, followed by council discussion. If you wish to speak, please fill out a request to speak form and submit it to the city recorder prior to the time the public hearing is open for testimony. The mayor will recognize people who wish to speak, and any comments must be addressed through the mayor. When you come forward, please state your name and place of residence for the record, as this hearing will be recorded.
Thanks, Sylv. David.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Before I turn it over we have Deb on the line. She's the consultant that put together this report. I'm just going to refresh Council's memory of the work session we held in December of 2021. So Gallardi Rothstein Group was hired to perform an analysis of the City of Sherwood's stormwater system development charges. The general methodology used to calculate stormwater SDCs begins with an analysis of system planning assumptions to determine the gross capacity needs and how they will be met through existing system available capacity and capacity expansion. Again, we held the work session December 7th of 2021 just to review the proposed stormwater SDC methodology. 90-day notice to consider these changes was provided pursuant to ORS 223.304, and the draft of the report was made available for review early July, 60 days before this meeting. And with that, I'll turn it over to Deb. She has a presentation to kind of walk through some slides for you folks.
Okay, let's see. Let me share my screen here and go into presentation mode. Are you seeing the cover slide?
Yes.
Great, thanks. Okay, well, I'll keep this brief. This is going to be a little bit of repeat for anybody who was at the water SDC hearing we did, I believe, last month, and you have cupcakes waiting. So the SDC program, and when we do an update, we're really talking about 3 separate components. There's a project list that's based on the master plan. It identifies by Oregon statute requirements the project description, the cost, the timing of the expected timing of the improvement, and the percent eligible for SDC funding. The methodology, which is that report that David mentioned, went out for review 60 days in advance of this hearing, establishes the framework for determining the growth costs, both of the projects on the project list as well as existing facility costs that we refer to as the reimbursement fee. Then the third element is the SDC schedule, and that is the charges that then will be assessed to different types of development. In establishing the framework for the methodology of how we determine those growth costs, starting with the existing facilities, which establish the reimbursement fee, like the water SDCs that we discussed last month. The valuation of the existing facilities reflects inflated value based on the time they were put into service to now, less any developer contributions. Then also according to Oregon SDC law, we determine the available capacity for future growth. We build things in the infrastructure system to larger than needed at the time to accommodate future growth. You can recover those costs, which are estimated to be about 20% from future development. And that was based on hydraulic modeling analysis as part of the master plan. As I said, the project list was based on the master plan with some additional projects added for hydro modification projects. And the costs that are included in the SDCs are only those which relate to increased capacity for growth. And that varies anywhere from 0 to 100%. So there are some projects that are just rehabilitation replacement with no additional capacity. Those are not included in the SDC. Finally, Oregon law allows you to recover costs associated with complying with the statutes. That's my time to help you develop the methodology, master planning costs associated with development of the project list, and city accounting costs to comply with other elements of the statutes. The total growth improvement costs are estimated to be $9.4 million. They include just a very small amount of condition projects, upgrades to existing facilities, stormwater management, so extension, building larger detention basins, then those water quality hydromodification facilities on future streets, which are the bulk of the costs, $6.5 million, and some amount for stormwater share of the public works facility. Again, the growth related portion, and then a portion of the master planning costs. So the different elements you can see of the SDC are shown in this table at full cost and then adjusted for potential credits. The full cost of the reimbursement fee is $204 per equivalent service unit. An equivalent service unit is defined as 2640 square feet of impervious surface. Impervious surface is how we estimate the potential runoff from a property. The improvement fee is $12.22 and the compliance fee is $36 per ESU. So the total is $1,462 per ESU for the city's portion. There's also a regional SDC charged by Clean Water Services of $585. However, the Clean Water Services charge based on their policy is generally credited at 100% for new development that meets or exceeds Clean Water Services standards. And that is the majority of new development. Under the revised methodology and credit policy, the potential credit is 45% associated with the water quality portion of costs. And so the net SDC would be applied to all three elements, and you can see in the table would be $804 per equivalent service unit. This is a system-wide SDC. Some of your SDCs vary, like the sewer by area. This one would be applied uniformly system-wide. You can see in this chart the SDC with the credit would be right kind of in the middle of this range of other communities. Without the credit, it would be higher. But again, most new development is going to build to the standards and be eligible for that 45% credit. The updating in the future, you can modify the project list at any time if you add a project or increase costs such that the SDC also increases. Then there's potential to be required to have a public hearing if someone requests it. For the methodology, if you update the methodology in the future, then you need to do the 60-day notification as was done for this process. But you can update the SDCs themselves, as I presented in the last table, to based on a construction cost index annually without that being a change in the methodology. So that is the presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Just to get it out of the way, I'll ask if there's anyone in the audience that'd like to give testimony on the proposal. David, I don't think you probably have to go anywhere, but just anyone here want to talk about this exciting? I mean, so this is a cool night in a lot of ways. This is really government, but important. You got to do it. So anyone remotely? All right. So we'll close the public hearing portion of this public hearing. Any questions of Deb or David on the proposed resolution? I think it's pretty straightforward. This one is, yeah, nice and straightforward. Hearing none, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-072, updating the City of Sherwood stormwater system development charges methodology and amending the fee schedule.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor of approving Resolution 2022-072, updating the City of Sherwood's stormwater system development charges methodology and amending the fee schedule, say aye.
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 Opposed? Awesome. Thank you, council. Thank you, David. Yes, I get to read the entire title as well as part of council rules. It's just, but it's important.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, David. City manager report.
I'll be brief. I guess I deserve, I should give an apology here because part of the duties of the city manager is to create the agenda, and somehow I missed item B in under presentation. So I apologize. I'm happy somehow the news still got out and people still somehow knew. So, but congratulations on the award. Very well deserved. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right. Questions for Keith or his team?
Trying to think of a tough one, but can't think of any tonight.
So I asked privately beforehand, so I'll just say it publicly just so that you can acknowledge that we'll work on it. I had a community member ask about just enforcing proper behavior as for people crossing ED by the Ridges schools. And so if we can help educate school hours, that would be awesome. So thanks, Chief, or Acting Chief. Yeah, Police Chief Ty is on vacation for a day or two.
Couple days.
Couple days. Most of the month, but good for him. Hunting, he's hunting, which we can appreciate in our family.
Bow hunting.
Yeah, bow hunting.
Yes.
Other questions for Keith? Or Craig, Kristen, Sylvia, David?
Alan?
Wow. All right. Council announcements. Taylor, you have any announcements you want to make? He's in Boston for work, so.
Yeah, I wish I was there. I didn't know that there was going to be cupcakes, or I may have rescheduled my work meeting. But I'd like to, I have actually some thoughts about making back to school nice for the teachers. This year, I have an article coming out in the Archer newsletter that'll be coming out shortly. My thoughts are, again, tell your students to get involved, to reach out and become part of the great schools that we have. And especially if you have any middle schoolers and you'd like them to participate in something that will tire them out, have them sign up for cross country because there's no cuts and they take all abilities. So that's it for that. We have a work session for the Planning Commission this next week. So if anybody is wanting to participate with that, that is, and with our regular meeting as well, that's Tuesday nights, typically on the off nights from City Council. So check this same channel for that, and that's it for me.
Thanks, Taylor. Who'd like to go next? Renee?
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I attended the Housing Advisory Committee. I'm the vice chair of the committee. We celebrated Jenny Proctor and some of the other changes at the county level of staff that have been in their positions for a number of years. Also attended the opening of the Valfree on Avenida 26th in Forest Grove. It's a really cool housing project that was built with the Metro Funds dollars, and the county continues to move forward with the plans establishing more affordable housing. As far as library is concerned, their newest newsletter is out, great information in there. We meet on the 21st again, and then the Senior Advisory Committee, we're working on the senior-friendly city, as well as there is a event coming up on the 17th, which is a fundraiser for the Pearls program, which is a program that helps with mental health and isolation, feelings of isolation for our seniors. So please, if you don't have anything to do that evening, show up at the Senior Center for the Pearls Dinner and support our seniors. I think that's all I have.
Awesome. Thanks, Renee. Kim?
Yeah, I don't have too much. I missed the Police Advisory Board a couple weeks ago. I wasn't feeling well, but I know they were updating the board on previous community surveys that the Police Advisory Board had done in the past to start a conversation for the future on future staffing and what that's going to look like for our city. We had already had a staffing study done 5 or 6 years ago. We've completed that staffing study as far as filling a bunch of positions. So just what's that look like for the future? I know we'll be working on that. The YMCA, I'm also liaison there. I haven't had any meetings, but I do know that they are closed, I believe, beginning next Monday for a few days for some maintenance and whatnot. So check the website, make sure you know if you're a member and that they'll be closed. Next week, I've been invited to visit the Association of University Women with a Tigard City Councilor and a Tualatin City Councilor. We'll be talking about Sherwood's city goals, our transportation, our housing. So that should be a good night. That's all I got.
Awesome. Tim?
I will keep it very short tonight. Feels like we just met back on the 24th. But between that meeting and this meeting, not a lot to report. I did attend the first Oregon Broadband Advisory Council meeting. It was a good meeting. A lot of it was just, we have a lot of new members because the legislature kind of reconstituted that whole committee. And for those of you that don't know, that committee is going to advise the Oregon Broadband Office on how to distribute all the federal funding that's coming with the BEAD program to promote broadband access across the state. So being that Sherwood is a city that promotes broadband, we're rolling it out to our community, and we have broadband services through 3 counties. I think it's a great opportunity that we can have some representation on that committee. So that was a good meeting, and we're going to have another meeting here in October, and that's all I got.
Awesome. I'll keep it brief. Last 2 weeks, I was gone half of it on work, so I missed the LOC board meeting. Patty missed me. She texted me repeatedly through the meeting. I'm kidding. She was focused on the meeting, not focused on me at a convention or trade show. So no, hope everyone has a safe, successful first full week, 4 days, week of school. Be smart on the roads with all the kiddos, and I think we're adjourned. Well, at some point there'll be an executive session. I probably won't show up, and we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.